Right, yo, Ash. Hi, Dev. Right, yo, Ash. Hi, Dev. Right. So, volume is working. That's good. If I'm correct, then we have got everyone in. Which are good. So, welcome back, everyone viewing so far. This is round 6 of the Ellough versus Karttrak Cromer virtual Grand Prix for F1. See, today's tracks are Austria and what's the other one? Silverstone. We've got 19 drivers tonight. Just quickly check, we're getting some messages. Okay, oh, yep. Just got one more player to invite. The invite didn't come through, so let's quickly do that now. There we go. The invite has been sent out. Yeah, invite's now coming to you. So, correct then, that adds an extra driver, so we should have 19. But we will just give it sort of a couple of minutes, just let some people get in on the stream, just so they don't miss the start. Someone, I love the guy called Tin244. So just as some more viewers are joining, obviously run through the list of drivers we have for tonight. So we have it's Evans, it's Mullen, it's Bacon, Sweeney and Willis, all representing Karttrak Cromer. Chuggy as well for Karttrak Cromer. Tin244 Mighty 44 representing Ellough. Captain Baldy representing Karttrak Cromer. Miffland for Ellough Park, Charlie Boy for Cromer, Alfie Pritch, Matt Copper, Female Fake Taxi, OPGW, Scampton Bingo, JHS, Skid and Bandai, all representing for Ellough Park. So we have quite an even mix tonight, and this is the biggest grid we've had as well, so that's good to see. Hopefully we can have some good racing. The damage has been turned up to simulation, so the drivers have to be a bit more careful tonight. Corner cutting should still be on strict, yes it is. With Austria being quite an easy track to cut like the first corner and running wide at the last corner, we want to make sure everyone stays within the limits, so obviously strict corner cutting is on, but we will see how we get going. Can anyone beat Evans today? That's what they're all planning for. And obviously at Austria, it's sort of a lot easier to keep up because it's just pretty much straight lines. So this probably be one of their best chances to beat him. As well as obviously if anyone does get damage, then that will cause it to be a lot harder, especially around here. Some fast corners, so needing the wings to be good for them. Having a look, so we'll just see if sort of everyone is. No safety car on, turn on. Is it not on? Safety car is on. What's that? Oh, no safety car on turn 1, okay. Or just that one. Let's just have no safety car. That'd be quite nice if we can actually make it around without. Because the last round at France, the majority of the race was actually while the safety car was out, so hopefully we can avoid that. But we do have most people in, so so the drivers should now be readying up, and we'll now get going for the one-shot quali of the first race tonight at Austria. So by the looks of it, we do have a dry qualifying for the first race, which I think most of the drivers will be happy about. So drivers will be putting on their setups, and I think it will be a bit of a mix of setups for around here. A lot of them might go sort of low downforce, trying to be fast down the straights. Obviously some might try and go a little bit higher to carry more corner speed, but I do think this will be the track where Evans struggles to actually win. I did actually do a race with him around here on F1 and literally kept up with him the whole way round, overtaking just because of DRS. So turning these on so people can see. So after turn one, it's actually Sweeney who's currently on the provisional pole. The only driver to go medium is Charlie Boy. Seems to do it every time, so whether it's his strategy or whether it's just what it set him at, I don't know, but we'll see. Evans is up to P3. Can he make any time up on the brakes? As we see Bacon and Willis swapping around a bit, but Sweeney is still out in the lead, so he's looking fast. Evans is up to P2. Evans is somehow into the lead, so takes that provisional pole away. Just need to do this last sector good. Can anyone take pole away from Evans? It's going to be close. No, Evans does manage to clinch pole, a 103.3. Sweeney in second, a 103.4. JHS in third, a 103.5. Skid in fourth, 104.3. Mullen 5th, 104.6, Fake Taxi 6th, a 104.7, then we've got Scampton Bingo 104.8, Chuggy 104.9, Charlie Boy 105.3, Bandai 105.9, Alfie Pritch a 114.0, and then the rest of the field all disqualified. So with that strict corner cutting on, quite a few drivers have not made it through. So Willis hasn't, who's normally near the front. Captain's normally at the front, he's also been disqualified. Tim Mighty, Matt Copper, OPGW, Bacon and Baldy all disqualified. So track limits proven to be a little bit harder, but well done to all these drivers for making it work. So going to be another interesting race with, say, quite a few of the drivers who are either mid-pack or closer to the front, all starting near the back. I mean, they are in a little bit of a safer position, so they shouldn't be getting hit from behind off the start. Oh, and we've got rain. So, made the race a little bit more interesting. So the question is, who is going to be able to take the win in the rain? So drivers will just be adjusting the setups. They're probably going to want a little bit more downforce now. But we get ready to get the first race underway. So all drivers on full wet tyres. Just trying to have a look. Do most people get through cleanly? We have had a spinner. We've had a couple of spins at the back. And we've got a virtual safety car already. So Mifflin got caught up in it. Chuggy has. Captain and Bacon are still near the back. So Chuggy has actually gone down 10 places. So the biggest faller from the start. But most of the drivers did manage to get through cleanly. Willis did go up 6, so actually got a decent start from the back of the grid. So we have gone green again. So back at the front, Evans is your leader. Sweeney only 8 tenths behind. Can he do the same as France and keep that gap close? JHS with a good start, maintaining his 3rd position. Skid in 4th, Fate Taxi 5th, Mullen in 6th. Scampton Bingo 7th, Charlie Boy 8th, just having a little bit of a slide out the last corner. Willis is now up to 10th position. So a good first lap by him, up 7 and already into the points. Stand on board as he pulls to the outside of Bandai. Can he make it stick? Bandai stays on the inside and he does send it late on the brakes, but he gets it stopped and that will move Willis down. So they stay side by side, and can he get the better run? We will see. They are side by side, but we've got another yellow flag, so not quite sure who that is. We've got some drivers further back who look like they've had a couple of spins. So, and also we've had 3 drivers pit this lap. So stop wise, yeah, the bottom 3 drivers did pit, but we are, say, racing again. So on the track, it's actually spread out a fair bit as Charlie Boy is pitting. So is Bandai, which will put Baldy up into P10. So Baldy into the points, up 3. Good driving by him. I know he sort of was suffering a little bit in the wet, but actually looking really good. So maybe had a bit of practice. Who knows? I know he works very hard, so not much time for that. But into turn number 2, just run a little bit deep there. Just not quite getting it stopped in time. But Willis is now up into 8th position. He's caught Mullen up and Scampton Bingo. So Willis really putting in a nice little charge here, trying to get some of his positions back. Very close down back here, not quite making it this lap. So let's go find Mullen and Willis. So just closing up a little bit on the brakes as Evans sets the fastest lap of the race so far. And he's also got a 2.4 second gap. So Willis looks to the inside of Mullen, who will give the place away. And then his goal is to try and just stay with Willis and pull away. A little bit of a slide through turn 1. But Willis now up into P7, so 10 places, and we're only on lap 4 of 18. And if he can keep going at this rate, I definitely think a podium is possible, so that'd be a very good drive. So just catching up on the brakes there, trying to keep it nice and tight. Trying to get a better exit out. Scampton he's sliding all over the place. But he gets it stopped and doesn't rejoin the track in a dangerous manner there. So good driving, or good recovery by Scampton Bingo. But that does now put Willis into P6. But he is over 3.5 seconds off of a top 5 position. So he's got some work to do now, as Mullen is catching. And he does receive a 3-second penalty there for just taking too much curb. So just have to be careful. But Bacon having another good drive in P9 after starting near the back, so he's gone up 5, and I know he really doesn't like the wet conditions, so having a good drive for him. But Baldy's still in P10, so yeah, really good driving here. But Chuggy looks like he is trying to make a charge and close that gap down. But it's all spread out really. But we have got Alfie Pritch within a second of Captain. Captain sort of looks like he's struggling a bit in the wet. He's normally a driver who's sort of always P5, like top 5. So he should be making some ground up, as we have Matt join the pit lane. But back near the front, we've got Fake Taxi within half a second of Skid, as Evans set the fastest lap of the race again. So either the track is getting a little bit better, or Evans is just now getting the feel for it and putting in some good laps. But if we have a look at the lap times, so Evans has done a 14.4, Sweeney has done a 15.0, JHS a 15.6. So third fastest on track is actually Willis, as we watch Fake Taxi up the inside of Skid, and he gets it stopped very nicely there. So Fake Taxi into P4 and Skid now down to P5, and Willis has closed that gap down now to only 2.3 seconds. So it was 3.7, so he has gained 1.5 seconds already. So that P5 definitely looking good, and a high chance of it. Just as long as he stays consistent, then he should have it. As we see Baldy running a little bit wide, and Chuggy has actually hit the back of him and spun him out. So now Baldy's got to try and rejoin and spin himself around without getting in the way of the drivers, as he does now just wait. But he's got loads of time now, so just spin himself around if he can get himself going. And he does, so he's now away. But very unfortunate after having such a good drive in that P10, but Chuggy did actually spin him out, and rather than just braking, he kept going. So we will have a look at that incident after the race, and potentially a penalty might be coming his way. So anyway, back on. Willis is now within 8 tenths, and we've got a yellow flag up ahead. I think that might have been for Baldy, so that has now obviously cleared to green. But yeah, Willis within a second of that P5 spot, so driving really well. And so definitely looking very fast. So he did as well do a 15.2 on that last lap, as Sweeney also has improved with a 14.7, so not too far off of Evans now. So if Evans does make a mistake, Sweeney might be able to make up some ground. So what can Willis do? We will see. Didn't quite get fast enough exit to look for turn 1, but if he can do turn 1 and get a better exit out, then he might be able to go up the inside of Skid into turn number 2. I don't think he'll make it this lap. We have a battle sort of further down the field, as Mifflin is now up into 13th. Bacon still in P9, Mullen in 8th, Bingo 7th. So closest battle really on track is this one right here. Willis trying to get that P5 spot. just keeping it a little bit tighter, so he should get a better exit out on the power earlier. Using the curb on the outside, which is quite brave because them apex curbs are very slippery on this game. And we have got some drivers up ahead, and that is a yellow flag, so that is... Who was that off? Oh, so that Alfie Pritchard. Willis only just manages to swerve at the last minute to avoid it. As we see, OPGW is also now in AI, so out of the race. So Willis is 18.5 seconds off of Evans in first. But you watch Willis trying to make up some time. He's definitely gone later on the brakes. Can he get a better exit out? Oh, a skid goes sideways and Willis only just avoids the back of his car. So he's now up into P5. But luckily he didn't take a wing off. But skid is away again. So hopefully he didn't take too much damage or any at all. But that has now brought Bingo a little bit closer to him again. But Willis is 1.5 seconds off of Fake Taxi. So that is his move for P4, as Evans does just set another fastest lap of the race. As we see Alfie Pritchard on his right just exiting the pit lane. Sweeney still within 5 seconds of Evans. So JHS having another really good drive. Bit of a lonely third position for him, but so nevertheless on the podium as it stands. Fake Taxi still in P4, but Willis is closing that gap up and hunting him down. So we are on lap 10 of 18, and if Willis wants to get on that podium, he needs to make up like another sort of 9 seconds once he gets past Fake Taxi, so that is over a second a lap that he's going to have to make up. Just hooking that curb on the inside and causing a little bit of wheel spin. But further down the field, we have a good battle here by the looks of it. Chuggy is on the back of Captain. Now these two always seem to have a really good race, but doesn't always stay clean, so we'll stay on board and just see what we have. So Chuggy is looking for the inside. He does brake out a little bit later and makes it stick, but Captain doesn't give him much sort of room and tries to hold it on the outside, but was always going to run out of track there. So Chuggy is now through into 14th, and that does put Captain down to 15th. Willis has just lost a little bit of time there. He was a lot closer, so I don't know if he ran a little bit wide, but he's now got to find that second again. So on board here with Mifflin, trying to catch up Charlie Boy and make it into P12. As we look at the fastest laps as well, so Sweeney has also gone faster, a 14.6. Then it is, say, Willis a 15.2, and then a 15.6 for JHS, 15.8 for Fake Taxi. But all the drivers sort of getting faster, it seems, as the session is going on. But Willis is now within 3 tenths of Fake Taxi, so into turn number 2. Is he going to be close enough to send up the inside? He might be. He's got a very good run. Has a quick little look, but is a little bit too far back to get it sent on this lap. So lap 12 of 18. And this is the sort of closest battle on the circuit right now, other than Mifflin and Charlie. Who was that spinning? Oh, that is Mullen. So wait, no, it wasn't Mullen, was it? It was, yeah. It sort of keeps changing. So Mullen with a spin, but he's still in P8, I think, or was it? I don't know. The game seems to be messing up a little bit there. So Sweeney still only 5.3 off of Evans, so he's managed to maintain that gap quite well, sort of from it hitting 5, but just not being able to close it up. JHS still in 3rd. Oh, and Willis has got past Fake Taxi, so he missed the move, but he is now into P4, but he needs to find sort of 9.5 seconds to get himself onto that podium. But he has some clear track ahead. There is a back marker in front, but hopefully he will get out of the way, so Willis doesn't lose much time. Mullen has gone into the pit, so I'm guessing if it was him that spun, he probably did take some damage. We'll see. I think, yeah, I'm guessing he did. So quite a few drivers have some penalties. But I think there's not too many that sort of upset the standings as it stands, as we see Bandai coming into the pits. Mifflin still sort of on the back of Charlie Boy. Willis does just receive a 3-second time penalty, so he's just made his job for that podium now a little bit harder. But can Mifflin have a very good lap here, get a bit closer to Charlie Boy, and be able to get himself into P11. So Mullen does have 8 seconds worth of penalties, and where Charlie Boy is sitting right now, he's within that 8 second. Oh, it's just nipped over it, but if he can stay around this sort of time gap difference, then he might be able to score a sort of 1 point from finishing 10th. As Mifflin does have a little look up the inside, a bit of a brave corner to try and do it on, but nevertheless he's now pushing Charlie and trying to force him into an error. He looks to the inside, but sort of again not really going to work into that corner. He wants to try and set himself up a good exit out of the last corner, good exit through the first corner, and then try and do it up the long straight into turn 2. But now that is JHS going through, so Mifflin just moving out of the way for him. So again, really good driving and sportsmanlike, not wanting to interfere in the race, as Charlie Boy also does the same. So well done to these two drivers, and they can now carry on their race. Oh, Charlie Boy does just run a little bit wider into turn 2, so that has now brought Mifflin a bit closer to him. Can Mifflin get the move done? So if we go to fastest lap, Mifflin is sort of only just sort of like half a tenth, but he is lapping faster. So he is sort of the faster driver at the minute. So we'll be looking to get that move done. He looks for the inside again, but he just needs to stay behind him through this section, so he can have a good run into turn number 2, because that's going to be the best place for him to overtake. So if he can corner through here quick. But as we can see now, Chuggy has actually caught the back of this pack up as well, so Chuggy now looking to get past Mifflin and go and chase Charlie Boy. So Mifflin maybe missed out on his opportunity to go ahead, sort of does just squeeze him a little bit. And they are side by side as they exit turn number 2. but Mifflin still has the advantage. Chuggy does look for the inside, but it's a bit too far back to get the move to work. So we are on lap 16 of 18. And Evans is still the leader by 6.3 seconds over Sweeney, so he has just extended that gap out a little bit. But the field is still spread out, apart from sort of these three drivers here, so but Chuggy gets a very good exit out of the last corner and sends it up the inside of Mifflin, so he does now take that 12th spot, but he does have a 3-second penalty, so if Mifflin does just stay behind him, he will beat him in the final results, but he doesn't want to finish like that on track. He wants to get back past, and a very good move into turn 2, and is now back in front of Chuggy, so Chuggy's got all the work to do again. But Mifflin does just run a little bit wide, and that has allowed Chuggy up the inside, just allowing space as well. But he's staying on the inside, but Chuggy just managing to hold it on the outside, give him enough room and reclaim that 12th position. So a new driver for tonight with us as well is Bandai. I don't know how much driving he has done on F1, but he is in P15. He actually had a good qualifying result, I think, as well, didn't he? So yeah, he went down 4, so he did qualify 11th. But we just see Captain getting out of the way there, so I'm guessing he's probably got some damage. And that is Alfie Pritch right behind, but I think Alfie has been lapped by these drivers, so although he's on the back of him, he is actually a lap down. But we are on the final lap, and Evans has now lapped Bacon. So Evans through the last corner and is about to take the first win of the night. So good driving by him, as we see Sweeney just driving nice and slow through the last corner, and it'll be across the line for him. But we'll try and go back with a battle, as we see Chuggy right on the back of Charlie Boy here, and he's got the inside, and he actually should make the move stick, and he does. So Chuggy through into P11, but he does have a penalty as well as Charlie Boy, so as they cross the line it should actually move Mifflin up into P11, and it does. So a good drive by these three drivers, a good little battle going on. But the final results are Evans P1, Sweeney in P2, JHS P3, Willis P4, Fate Taxi P5, Skid P6, Scampton Bingo P7, Bacon P8, Tin Mighty, a very good drive, in 9th position, Mullen rounding out the top 10, Mifflin 11th, Chuggy 12th, Charlie Boy 13th, Bandai 14th, Captain 15th, Matt Copper 16th, Baldy 17th, Alfie Pritch 18th, and OPGW in 19th place. So we will just give all the drivers a little break. So what do you say, Sweeney? Was on pace with Bryn, got unlucky with traffic, especially the last lap. You did look fast, and I was flicking through the times, and sort of most of it you were within half a second. So we're just got to do something for you, just to find that little extra, just so you can stop Evans. But obviously, good drive in these conditions. It is very hard, I know that. But yeah, so P2 for you again, very consistent, good championship points. And as we can see, quite a few drivers did end up with penalties, but as you can also see, the drivers at the front, the top three, didn't get a single penalty either. So consistent driving and staying within the track limits. But yeah, we will now give the drivers like a 10-minute break, and so sort of it's now roughly 25 to, so the second race will get underway for about 7:45. So yeah, we'll join you back sort of then. But say just quickly in the meantime, again, would just like to say thank you to the sponsors of this series and championship. So we have Karttrak Cromer, who will be obviously donating vouchers for the top three, as well as Ellough Park matching the same price on them vouchers. And we have Karttrak Apparel, so they are a clothing brand or clothing company who have just obviously started up and actually do some very nice t-shirts, some hoodies, some polos and some hats. So if you would like to go check them out, then obviously we do really recommend. They normally have sort of lightning sales on and discounts off of most of their products, so go and have a look and see if you can get yourself something very nice. Sweeney has commented, it was the traffic. Bryn managed to get them on the straight, but I caught during the infields. I'm literally pushing myself to beat him. So yeah, obviously Bryn obviously getting a little bit lucky, I guess, on the overtaking the traffic, but it's staying quite close. And for someone that does spends a lot of time on F1 as Bryn does, and sort of takes part in the race leagues he does, not doing too bad, Sweeney. I'll give you that, not doing too bad. But if we go and have a look at the championship points, which have been updated, all thanks to Jacob staying on top with all the stats, putting in all the hard work. Where are they? So we have them here. So the current standings are Evans is on 229 points, Sweeney is on 170, Willis is on 112, Bacon is on 82, Captain is on 68, Mullen is on 53, JHS is on 53, Charlie Boy is on 51, Fake Taxi is on 44, Hobnob is on 37, Chuggy is on 37, Mifflin is on 26, Tin Mighty is on 12, Fuzzy Duck 8, Rocket is on 7, Wrecked is on 6, Dilly is on 6, Alfie Pritch is on 2, Captain Bingo is on 2, Get Up Me Chavi is on 2, and I think sort of the rest of them, Skid has scored a point, but the rest of them haven't actually scored the points yet. So at the minute the overall standings is Karttrak Cromer is on 835 points and Ellough is on 163, so a really big gap there, and we do have a split of 14 Karttrak Cromer drivers and 16 Ellough Park drivers, so they have actually had more people take part, but obviously not do all of the rounds, so sort of quite an even split. But yeah, Karttrak Cromer dominating on the PlayStation, but over in the Xbox One, for anyone that is interested, we have a Karttrak Cromer driver leading the championship, and then sort of the next second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth are all from Ellough. But the total points over there is Ellough Park on 612 and Karttrak Cromer on 339, with a split of 7 from Karttrak Cromer and 19 from Ellough. So considering they've got a lot more, not doing too bad overall. So if you actually added all the drivers together, Ellough Park would have more drivers, but Karttrak Cromer would be on sort of roughly just over 1100 points, whereas Ellough would only be on sort of 800-ish points. So yeah, if we add them all up, Karttrak Cromer sort of at the minute outperforming, but obviously all about having a bit of fun. Quite a few of the drivers are now all talking and actually playing and racing all together, so it's been quite good seeing them all sort of mix and get chatting and also give them something to do. So quite a few messages going on in the chat as well. Let's have a quick look what we have. So we got so if I'm correct, I think driver that finished 9th, so I think that was Tin Mighty. Obviously also got a drive through for speeding under the virtual safety car apparently, even though his delta time was green. But if he did finish P9 from that, very well done. Sometimes the game's penalty system is stupid. Yeah, they don't always make much sense, especially like under a safety car. If the driver behind hits the one in front, they sort of both get a penalty sometimes, which doesn't make much sense, but I guess it's quite hard to do. Anything else? At least there was no actual safety car. That is very true, and it was wet, so the fact we didn't have a safety car, not too bad. And we didn't actually have anyone retire, did we? So damage on sim, so simulation, the highest damage we can get, and we didn't actually have anyone retire because of damage. So it's obviously worked. Drivers not just crashing into each other, and obviously getting better at the game and not putting himself into a wall. Could have been better in turn 1, although it was raining pretty heavily, so we have to give the benefit of that. That is true. So we did pretty much make it through turn 1 fairly cleanly, but we did have a spinner and then some people just hitting from behind. Some people may have just misjudged how much aquaplaning was going to happen. That is also true as well. So you've gone from like a dry track break in to that where you need to do something different. Bryn is going to rock up to the track wearing his Keeman clothing just to rub it in your faces, isn't he? Well, if he performs like this, you never know. I guess Keeman Apparel, if they sponsor us, could always do him a little brand deal and promote. It'd be quite good. Maybe Bryn tries to take this a bit further and go esports. I mean, it's definitely good enough, but it does also race karts as well, and in my opinion, racing in real life is definitely better than pretend race cars sitting at home. But for the time being, while we can't go away racing, this is definitely better than nothing. Everyone just needs to take 2-3 laps to acclimatise themselves to the track. Hell, I was still finding new grip on the last lap. That'd be quite good if everyone actually sort of decided to roughly drive around the first lap where they qualified, then you'd all get away quite nicely. But obviously people do believe you can win a race in the first corner, and I mean, people always say you can't. I believe it definitely helps. If you can go from last to first or get away in the lead, yeah, it definitely helps. So but also helps getting through without damage. Oh god, hope it's dry. I think most people will hope it's dry as well. Will be quite good around Silverstone in the dry, I believe. I'll become Toto Wolff every time Hamlin retires. So we should now be getting underway. All the drivers are in the lobby. We are still on spectator, which is good. Just check. Right, so we will get all the drivers to ready up, and we will get underway for the second and final race of tonight. I don't think we will do a third race on the stream, because we always seem to do it, but it never actually goes very well, and a lot of drivers sort of end up crashing into each other. So I think we'll sort of stick with just the 2 races. I mean, if anyone wants to obviously do another race, they can always stay on themselves. Nearly spectated. That wouldn't have been a good idea, Sweeney. I'm the spectator, even though I messed that up last time. But yeah, I'm the spectator. We need someone to race who might be able to beat Bryn, and at the minute you seem to be the only one that looks like you might be able to stop him, but hopefully we can have someone else go a bit faster. You never know, someone might just like one of these tracks. I'm tempted to run a wet setup in quali just in case. Wouldn't be a bad shout, I guess, but hopefully it'll be good, even though it is Silverstone, so the British weather. Hopefully we can have a dry race. Is dry for quali. Hopefully it will stay dry for the race. So most of the drivers are ready. Just waiting for Sweeney to ready up. Too busy talking in the chat, I believe. So Evans and Charlie Boy have gone for the medium tyre. So it will be interesting to see. Obviously Evans being then on a bit of a slower tyre, but is currently sort of near the front, but it does keep changing. So Bacon has retired from the session already, so whether that was a crash or exceeding track limits. But JHS at the minute is on provisional pole, so having a very good lap so far. Sweeney does just go above him, and JHS back, so it's obviously very close between these drivers, and setup might just be what's changing them about in the straight line speed. So on board with Sweeney, holds it flat all the way through, down to a little bit of understeer and a push on through there, so might have just sacrificed a little bit of exit speed, but he is away. Evans is in P3 currently, and on that medium tyre, actually doing really well, so he shouldn't put it on pole. Sweeney and that should beat him with a bit of a better tyre, but P3 nonetheless is still very good. Only 2 drivers to retire. We'll see if anyone else's lap did get invalidated. So Matt and Baldy's time did get invalidated, so they have also been disqualified from this, and so has Mifflin. So a couple less than the first one at Austria, but Sweeney has managed to get a pole position. but JHS only 1.5 tenths off in second. Evans on the medium tyre in third, only 2 tenths off, so sort of very fast for that medium tyre. Willis in fourth, 3 tenths off. Captain fifth. Then it was OPGW, Fake Taxi, Scampton Bingo, Skid, Chuggy, Charlie Boy, Tin Mighty, Alfie Pritch, Bandai, and then obviously Baldy, Mifflin, Matt, Bacon, and Mullen. Sorry, Trip. Yeah, no time. I guess it's not too bad, hey? But you got some work to do now. I expect a top 10. So, yeah, that's your target. Top 10. As long as it's dry. If it's wet, I'll allow you top 15. So it is dry for the race. So yeah, top 10 for Bacon. That's what I'm wanting. But dry for the race. So hopefully that'll be all the drivers happy. It's dry. It is indeed. So the second race of the night is about to get underway. So a couple more drivers have switched to the medium. So Bacon and Mullen have also switched to the medium tyre. But it looks like a fairly clean start. Oh, obviously not. We've got a safety car. So who's that out? So that is Matt out. Bandai's also been involved. So yeah, maybe it weren't a clean start. But we have obviously had one retire already. So not ideal for Matt. Not had the best of races tonight. But anyway, Sweeney did get away in the lead. JHS second. Evans third. Willis fourth. OPGW ran at the top 5. I think other than that, most people sort of, yeah, pretty much have stayed where they were. But see, the fact we've got a safety car means we have to do a lap or so to catch it up, and then whether it's 1, 2, 3 laps behind until the incident is cleared. Sorry boys, but go on Willis. He's in P4, and he did actually have a very good recovery drive again in the last one. He always seems to, doesn't he? Always seems to be starting at the back or having a little spin and then coming back through. Maybe if he can stay near the front and get a good start and no damage like he has, I believe, in this one. Let's have a look. Oh, he is pitting, so quite a few of them have decided to all pit. Ooh, as we've got Captain there on the grass. Yeah, quite a few obviously pitting, so I'm guessing quick tyre change so they don't need to pit for the rest of the session. But who stayed out? So OPGW is in the lead. It does keep changing my... Alright, yeah. So yeah, Skid second. So all of the drivers, oh, as Mullen's driving on the grass, going for a bit of landscaping. As you can see, most of these other drivers have all pitted. So interesting to see which strategy will work. We have also had a bit of a word about keeping a bigger gap under the safety car, which they pretty much seem to be doing. While the safety car's out at this point of the track, they don't need to be close, because obviously they're not going to go racing yet. They only go when it goes into the pits. So they were told to keep a bigger gap, and then as you see the light go out or say that it's coming in, then close the gap up. But hopefully we will have no crashes. So all the drivers that have pitted have also now caught up, so you can see obviously quite a few changes. So Baldy just now trying to make up the gap up to the safety car. Oh, as Mullen gets a penalty for speeding in the pits. So a couple more drivers deciding to pit now as well. So obviously they're all behind the safety car, so it will now be doing a lap. But drivers in the pits at the minute is Bandai, Bacon and Mullen. So Baldy will now go ahead of them 3 drivers. So now their job is to try and catch up the back of the pack again. Which they've done very quickly. So as I can see, Mullen has gone for the soft, and so has Bacon, so's Evans. Sweeney has gone to a hard, so will be interesting to see Sweeney on a lot slower compound. But the tyre should last longer. So for Evans, he needs to make his time up at the start and build a gap and hope he can maintain the tyre, whereas Sweeney needs to keep the gap either as small as he can and hope that his tyre is better towards the end. Whereas JHS has gone for a medium, so he's gone between the two. So I guess whichever one doesn't work, his should be better than the other one, so but the safety car is coming in this lap, as it has said obviously down the bottom left by race control. So drivers just trying to warm up their tyres, and as you can see OPGW has let the safety car go, so it's going to be all down to him when he decides to nail it. So he hasn't started accelerating yet. He is just driving nice and slow, and he will probably nail it as soon as he gets out of this corner right here, and he is. So he pulled the pin, and he's actually got a very good jump for a start. So Alfie Pritch is in P5. Who's this? This is Evans on JHS. So Evans into P9. And that was Mifflin having a quick look on Alfie Pritch. So Alfie running just a little bit wide through there. He's having a look up the inside. Isn't going to get it to stick on this lap. But Sweeney is now right on the back of Mifflin, as Evans tries to hold it around the outside, and he does. Very good move there by Evans, round the outside of Sweeney. Obviously that slightly better compound tyre helped him out a lot there, so but yeah, brilliant move by Evans. So up into P8, as he's now looking at the inside of Mifflin, but I doubt he will do it through here. Just obviously being careful and hopefully get a good exit onto the straight. Got a nice little cutback, better exit, and Evans should be up the inside of Mifflin, and Sweeney will try and follow. So he does, pulls to the inside, and that is now Mifflin down 2 and Evans and Sweeney through. think that was Skid there hitting back a Chuggy possibly, but that is now Evans through into P6. Alfie Pritch just a little bit wide there. JHS up the inside of Alfie, and a good move there as Mifflin runs into the back of Alfie. Oh, and that puts Willis into Alfie, and that's made Alfie retire. No fault of his own. Very unfortunate. So we probably will have a full safety car, as virtual safety car at the minute, but very unfortunate for Alfie there. Nothing he could have actually done. Not sure if Willis would have got damage from that as well, because he did hit the side of Alfie's car, so, but I'm not sure what damage he got. But it's still only a virtual, so the gap is maintaining sort of the same between them all. So at the minute it is OPGW in the lead, Tim Mighty second, Charlie Boy third, as, who's that? That is Mullen with a penalty for contact with Bacon. Mifflin is off the circuit. Yeah, I did see it, Alfie. See, nothing Willis could have done. It was the driver behind you, which I think was Mifflin, hit the back of you, which obviously caused you to end up spinning. So as we watch Evans looking up the inside of Chuggy, but can't quite make it, but it will go wide and he will try and get a cut back, but again can't quite get that cut back and up the inside. But he will use DRS and he will have the run on Chuggy, so he pulls to the inside and there'll be nothing Chuggy can do to stop Evans coming through. So Evans now up into P4. It wasn't Willis that caused you to do it though, Alfie. If you watch my stream you will be able to see we have a yellow flag sector 2, so that is Skid off, spinning. We've got Mifflin and Mullen in the pits. So OPGW with almost a 5-second lead, as we have another driver off, which is Bacon. So not the best for him. He's got going again in 13th position. So Willis is, Willis looks like he is catching Sweeney, and they are both on the same tyre as well. So Charlie Boy has received a drive-through, which you will need to do within 3 laps, as Evans is looking to the inside of Tim Mighty, and he does, he gets it stopped, and he will now set off after OPGW for the race lead, but knowing he does have to pit. So once all these drivers have pitted, that will actually put Evans into the lead. So Tim Mighty not even using DRS, whereas he could have. But Willis still closing that gap up by the looks of it on Sweeney. JHS not too far either off of Willis, and Captain as well, right on the back of JHS. So racing is definitely a lot closer, and with DRS coming up, should be able to make a move. JHS does just cut the corner slightly there. We've also got Bacon right on the back of Bandai. Now Willis receiving another 3-second penalty, so he's up to 8 seconds as Mullen retires from this session. So Willis looking up to go around the outside of Sweeney, and he's held it as well. Brilliant move there by Willis. So the second driver to hold it on the outside of Sweeney, but then into chicane, Sweeney holds it on the outside. So a brilliant move to reclaim that 5th position. So really good racing between these two drivers and keeping it clean. So Willis just trying to get a better exit than Sweeney, who holds it sort of tight coming out to stop Willis getting past, but DRS activated, but Sweeney also has it because they are within a second of Chuggy as well. So Willis won't be able to do anything here, as he does run in a little bit deep there, but Sweeney also has a bit of a lock-up. Oh, who's that? That is Captain looking at the inside of Willis. So Willis needs to make sure he gets going this lap and tries to get in front of Sweeney before he loses that position to Captain. So they will all have DRS apart from Chuggy. So Chuggy could now miss out by a couple of laps as Zach tries to send a dummy. So Sweeney sends a dummy on Chuggy. Oh, Willis brakes a little bit late. Very good reactions there to just swerve out and stop himself going in the back of Chuggy as he does pit. But Captain holding on the outside of Willis here. So Captain now up into P5 and Willis still in P6. But we've also got Evans now within 2.5 seconds of the race lead. So Willis now needs to try and get past Captain and then close the gap back up to Sweeney. So Sweeney with another little lock up and just running a little bit wide. So currently Captain and Willis do have an 8-second penalty each, so that will put JHS in front of both of them, as well as Fake Taxi should go in front, and then the rest also have penalties behind them. So they need to try and actually get through and go and make some time up. But we're on lap 9 of 13, so not many laps left to go. But Sweeney has activated DRS, so he sends the dummy again on Tim Mighty, and this time he's got the move done. Yeah, for sure. So we've had another driver out, and that is Bacon. So as you can see, Bacon should be on the right. Yeah, you can just about see him. So Bacon now retiring from the session as well. So Sweeney into P3, but should be... Wait, just check. I will check. Has... Yeah, so OPGW does still need to pit. Oh, so Captain did actually get it up the inside of Sweeney there, but they did make a bit of contact, which has actually allowed Willis through both of them and into P3. So because of their little battle, Willis actually takes both the positions, but Sweeney's got a better exit. He's gone up the inside of Willis, who has to give way but sends an awesome cutback on Sweeney. A really good battle between them two all the way through this race. But Willis looking really quick through there, and Sweeney struggling, so whether he's got a bit of damage, not too sure. But Sweeney keeping it on the inside, trying to stop Captain being able to send up the inside. But a little lock up by Sweeney, and he's pushing on like a lot. So I believe Sweeney has definitely got wing damage. So I'm guessing his goal now is to try and nurse the car home. But he's struggling to actually get on the track. But he's going to send it up the inside again to retake 4th position. But a lot of contact going on here, and the drivers just using the side of each other's cars. I messed up so bad. So Fake Taxi is now on the back of this pack in 6th position, but Obviously OPGW has pitted, so obviously Evans is out in the lead by 13.5 seconds. Willis is in P2. Captain is in P3. JHS is in P4, but obviously with all the penalties, the order is going to change. Sweeney just trying to make a bit of time up. DRS activated, but JHS has also got it. So he's looking to try and get the cut back, and he does get up the inside, but it's going to leave him on the outside. But can he go around the outside into chicane? Can't quite make it on this lap. Not going to send up the inside into this corner. But lap 12 of 13, so there's not long left. So Sweeney sends up the inside, but can't quite make it. Back end just went and couldn't save it. You let me down, Bacon. I was expecting that top 10. But Fake Taxi now right on the back of Sweeney still. Just probably waiting for one of them to make a mistake, as JHS does run wide and into the gravel. Sort of swerves across the track quite vigorously to get back on, but Sweeney managed to avoid the car in front and get through. So Sweeney's now through, as we've had Baldy's retired, so he has crashed turn number 1. You see him in the wall right at the end, so not quite sure what's happened there. But yeah, shouldn't end up there, mate. I was pushing so hard, gaining 1.2 seconds a lap. You were looking good, as we see Sweeney and Fake Taxi battling ahead, and Fake Taxi does make it round the outside, but he's going to defend, and Sweeney's going to hold it on the outside. I know he'll hold it, and he does. Very good move to reclaim that position back, and he's got one more lap left to hold on to try and keep 4th place on track. But penalty wise he should be alright, but he also wants to stay close enough to captain, because he will actually take P3 off of him after penalties, as Fake Taxi hits the back of Sweeney there, and puts him a bit wide. But he has given the place, but Sweeney needs to try and defend from JHS. Sweeney always likes defending around Silverstone. Always seems to be the way in any league race he does. Ends up defending the last couple of laps like mad, but doing a very good job of holding on to this P4 on the track as it stands. So he has got half a second gap now to JHS. He needs the biggest gap he can possible going onto the straight, because DRS is about to activate for these two drivers, as Evans does finish, so another double for Evans. But Fake Taxi has just made it past JHS, so they come down into the chicane, and will now just a big slide there by Fake Taxi, but we'll now just wait and see where they finish. And Sweeney does move up into P3 after penalties. So Evans wins it, Willis P2, Sweeney P3, Fake Taxi goes up into 4th, Captain down into 5th after penalties, OPGW 6th, JHS 7th, Scampton Bingo 8th, Chuggy 9th, Tim Marty's about to come round to finish on track in 10th, Mifflin 11th, Charlie Boy going to finish in 12th maybe, unless he can make up what this second on Mifflin. Very good through there, a very good exit. It's now within half a second, but needs something very special into this last chicane. But a big slide, just trying to get on the power early, and loses the time out there. Oh, and he he hits the wall coming out. But there we have it. So that is the end of the second race for today. Driver of the day actually goes to Miffland, so good drive by him, and receiving driver of the day. So as you hopefully will be able to see on your screens, it will show you, yeah, as you can see, these are the end results, and Evans with a faster lap by quite a bit, but obviously did have the faster tyre to set it. So all the way down, so a couple of DNFs, but most of the drivers finishing. Quite a few penalties around here, yeah, quite a lot, but not too bad considering. Sweeney, absolutely horrendous. My wing was good off the restart, and the strategy was just not it. It did look like you were struggling with front wing damage, but was obviously say a very good drive. And like I say, you always like defending around Silverstone for some reason. Always seems to be the way for you. A little bit of contact towards the end, but luckily no one got taken out fully. Yeah, good thing I have practiced white line at Silverstone. So yeah, Sweeney likes to do that. But other than that, we will end the stream here. If you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Does really sort of help me out. At the minute it's on 9 likes, so there's 23 watching right now. So if every single one of you hits that like button, this video should hopefully have over 20 likes. But if you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Most of you are subscribing, I know that. If you turn the notification bell on, you will get notifications when I go live, and also post other videos. And other than that, hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you back on Wednesday for round number 7.